Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are
Aliens
aliens
in
in
the
the
sky.
sky. I'm Sky.
I'm alien.
So Kevin Hart went on the Breakfast Club, and he kind of defended himself by all the backlash he's been getting about his Kevin Hart roast and all like the offensive jokes that were being said, and one specifically about George Floyd, made by Tony Hinchcliffe, a joke that wasn't funny at all. And basically, the Breakfast Club kind of was giving him softball questions, and he was still fumbling the bag through the whole thing. So,
What do you expect?
so at this point, we got to react, and Poetic made a great video about it. So, let's just jump right into it, guys. Let's get
We're
right
gonna
into
hop.
it.
We fall over.
And
Die.
die. Oh.
Kevin Hart just pissed off black people again and reignited the hate mob against them. Now, his response, I personally don't have a problem with. I just don't think it was smart at all to do. He came on specifically to respond back to the recent backlash he was getting because George Floyd family has made it pretty clear they not rocking with Kevin at all. And they made it clear during an interview with Lauren LaRosa when they brought up the Kevin Hart roast and they brought up how Tony Hinchcliffe during this roast, as well as other roasts, disrespected George Floyd, made fun of George Floyd, made George Floyd a subject of discussion when, George Floyd was not in the room, and a roast is supposed to be a roast of the people in the room. Now, he made this clear while talking to Lauren LaRosa, and George Floyd family also did an interview
Can we
with.
just pause that for 2 seconds?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think it's a roast of people who are in the room. It's a roast of people who should be public figures, and George Floyd was not.
Yeah. Yeah.
know?
No, that joke came out of nowhere. That's why this whole thing looks bad.
Yeah, because it's this is a random man that
Yep.
suffered police brutality. He's not a famous person like Kevin
Nope.
Hart.
Yep. And he's not even alive.
Yeah, so
So it's
how do we do this?
It's cooked.
TMZ.
Thank you for joining me. I feel like we always have to have conversations
music in the
around
background.
these things. So
That's Lauren
I
LaRosa,
apologize
bro.
for that, but yeah,
She's
I
got
think
her own little
sometimes the
thing going
conversations
on.
are needed for
But she's
people to
part of
hear
the
from
Breakfast Club.
you guys as George Floyd's family.
I just hate the music.
firsthand. So
Oh yeah, no.
I know
I'm not a
you saw
fan.
It's
some of the
definitely
comments that
giving
was being made
sassy
at the
black
Breakfast
woman.
Club in response to
Yeah.
Tony Hinchcliffe and the George Floyd joke that was said at the Kevin Hart roast.
You've done good, though, Kevin. The black community is so proud of you. Right now, George Floyd is looking up at us all, laughing so hard that he can't breathe.
Faking it. And you wanted to kind of talk a bit about that. So just let me know. Number one, did you watch the roast just as a Kevin Hart fan, or did you hear about it afterward?
I heard about it afterwards, and I understand a roast. Let me just clarify that. I understand a roast, and well, from what I understand about a roast is about what you joke about that person specifically. So the reason why I felt kind of uneasy is because I was trying to figure out what did that have to do. What kind of punchline was that?
Y'all heard me co-sign those sentiments when I made my video on the joke. I just thought, how many
what
more
did that have to do with
opportunities
Kevin
do black
Hart?
folks have to give Tony
Thought this
Hinchcliffe
roast was about
to
Kevin
disrespect
Hart.
us? George Floyd
And it was
not
about
in the
Kevin
room.
Hart
It
and
was
the
a
people
roast
in
of
the room,
in the
and
room.
like you
He
said
brought
earlier,
up George Floyd
where
because he
is
knew what he was doing. He has brought up George Floyd in every other roast he has done. And that's something the family has also touched on. This man keeps on bringing up George Floyd to disrespect him. He has this weird obsession with George Floyd, and quite frankly, I think the weird obsession comes because he understands that it's gonna piss off black people, and that's his aim when he does.
No, he's
these
been
things.
hanging
He wants
off
to
on
piss off black people.
X too much.
He
That's
can't
probably what
thrive
it
without
is.
us. He wants our
You go on,
reaction.
you go on
And
S, and it's like
this
this
time
whole
it worked
fucking
brilliantly,
cesspool of
right?
people
We
just
are
making
calling it out
George
'cause,
Floyd jokes.
at what point is enough is enough?
But if we did that about
So
your
the
mom,
brother does speak on that. He
we'll be
does touch
wrong.
on
he's
how
one of those free
Tony
speech
Hinchcliffe made a
advocates.
George Floyd joke during the Tom Brady roast.
You know, and I'm gonna speak from my point of view is comedy.
Go off,
A
King.
roast is a roast is without that one person. Comedy is to make people, laugh and enjoy themselves. It's not supposed to be where you feel some type of way after you leave the room. You're supposed to leave with healing and happiness, and that wasn't the case. Um, and I'm speaking from my point of view about my brother and from my family, but I'm even gonna go as far as the other topics with Bill Cosby. Those are other people's issues, and you don't know what kind of trauma and tragedy that family was
And
going
what
through.
about Bill
So
Cosby?
stick to just
I think
who
we can
you
roast Bill
supposed to be
Cosby.
roasting. That's just my feeling
Yeah,
on it.
he's on the list.
And
We do not feel
in us
sympathy for Bill
covering,
Cosby.
I started to
none.
kind of like research because when I first saw the statement, there was a line about the rep who spoke out for Gianna and the George Floyd organization that said something about you guys as the family mentioning his obsession with your brother with George Floyd. So it made me, in the room, Just Hilarious asked like, well, was this the first time that he mentioned something? And I went back and I realized that he had gotten some pushback back in 2024 when he joked about George Floyd or made a reference to George Floyd during the Tom Brady roast.
Look like the final boss in George Floyd, the video game.
Would it being the second time, do you feel like it's even more of
No
a
one laughed.
disrespect, or like does that kind of compile onto things for you?
I would say it's totally disrespectful. It's totally disrespectful, but
I think the brother did a great job at articulating what the general consensus is and critique on the roast, and Tony Hinchcliffe bringing up George Floyd during the roast. Now, Kevin Hart came on a Breakfast Club, and I'll be real, Kevin Hart didn't handle this great at all, not one bit. Now, you kind of understand his response and understand his frustration of, hey, I didn't make the joke. Why y'all mad at me?
Yeah, the George Floyd joke, it wasn't a tasteful joke to
Crazy
our
frame
culture,
still.
to our audience. But our audience that's watching the roast, if you're watching the roast, you get why they're doing it. You get why the racial humor is on the table. Like, it's not, I wasn't shocked. Like, that's what they do. Go look at the Tom Brady one. Like, that's what they do. It happens every year when they do a roast. It's not new. This isn't a new. It's not a new agenda. It's not a new approach to comedy.
Do you feel like Tony Hinchcliffe went too far when he made that joke about George Floyd?
It's Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like. I don't expect less. I don't
Looking up
expect more.
cinnamon stick.
I feel like you're saying going too far is the point. I don't want to put
you'll
words
let
in
me
your
know.
mouth.
Yes, I mean that's why you're there. And I hate to say this, but I'm going to because we're being honest. People are talking about that joke.
Couldn't find it.
Talk about his set.
I was gonna say
Tony
Tony
Hinchcliffe
looks
arguably
like,
had the best
the
set.
cinnamon
People
toast.
did
wait,
not
wait,
like
wait.
this
The Apple
at
Jacks
all.
guy.
Now,
Yeah,
if he
the
honestly
Apple-
feels his way, it's his right to say it.
So,
Me
yeah.
personally,
Like
I
that,
did not
the
think that Tony
cinnamon
Hinchcliffe
stick,
had the
the
best set
bleach.
at all. I think that Chelsea Handler,
And so I was
his
looking
op
for
had
a
better
picture
set
of
than
a
him.
white
I think
cinnamon
Lizzo,
stick.
We couldn't
now,
find
hers was
that.
underrated.
You're
Now,
just
again, I
watching
didn't go
me
as far
pull
as
up
say she was
pictures.
better than Tony Hinchcliffe, but
I said,
hers
is
was
she gonna be
underrated.
cooking
the
later
black
tonight?
guy who roasted Kevin Hart, I don't
What
know
are
his
we
name.
eating later
He
tonight?
had a
She's
better
doing this
set
right
than
now.
Tony
Yeah.
But Kevin Hart obviously has no problem with what Tony
No, we're
Hinchcliffe
cooking
did.
now.
We
Yeah.
didn't know, by the way, that like Kevin Hart and the producers actually got a chance to hear all the jokes beforehand. So Kevin Hart got a chance to hear the Tony Hinchcliffe George Floyd joke, and he approved it, right? He had no problem with it being in there.
Yeah.
Now, if Kevin Hart would have came and stood on business, cool. But he flip-flopped too much for me during his interview. Started off with, man, Tony Hinchcliffe had the best set, is comedy, get over it, to, why y'all blaming me? I don't like it either. I think it's BS. I think it's, huh? He even say, yo, he called like Steven Jackson, which is like George Floyd homie and really close to George Floyd family, right after the set, before it even went public, to apologize to Steven Jackson, say, hey, bro, man, listen, man, it was a roast. It got out of hand, bro. I couldn't do nothing. So if you didn't feel this was a problem,
So it was
then
kind
why
of
did you
given the
call Steven
BAFTAs.
Jackson immediately afterwards, right?
Am I saying that
And
right?
the most
what?
annoying part
The
of it all
BAFTAs
is
award?
Kevin Hart acting
What is
BAFTAs?
like he had no
BAFTAs?
power
What is that?
whatsoever, that he
You-
was powerless,
Here,
and he
let
couldn't
me-
have done anything to remedy this situation.
Oh,
Would
it's not
I
really
tell
there.
those jokes?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Uh-huh.
so you know how recently Sinners came out,
Yeah.
and there was that like little thing that happened where I guess that guy with the Tourette's said the N-word.
Oh, yeah.
That
I
rewards.
heard that. that little story.
Yeah.
Oh, that awards. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Mm.
giving that. So they had the what is it? How I'm trying to think of the word, but they could have like taken out the fact that like that was said,
Mhm.
but they still let it play to the world, but they took out like stuff like Free Palestine and all that other good stuff.
Oh. So like they had time to edit it out and shit like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's one of the main backlashes that Kevin knew about this joke. And he's like, "We'll let it fly because in this interview he talks about if it's funny, it's funny." And that's what his kind of humor is.
I don't support Kevin Hart anymore.
Oh yeah, me neither.
I never did.
Yeah, well. Well, I liked him in Scary Movie.
True.
I liked him in Scary Movie,
But I
but
don't think I've ever like put money towards like a Kevin Hart thing. Like that's my family stuff, and it definitely he's like an older generation type shit.
yeah.
So like pretty soon he's not gonna be. He's barely even relevant now. Yes, we're tearing him down because he deserves it. But anyway, like I never really supported him, and I don't after this, and I don't really support anyone that like is okay with tearing black people down. Like what I've noticed is like, okay, let's talk about like Yee for a second. You're like we're bringing him
Yay,
in.
yay,
Yay.
yay.
Am I saying it wrong,
Yeah,
huh?
no, it's all good. It literally, he catches feelings if you say his name wrong. So,
I don't give a shit. Like why the fuck would I care?
but after what he's done, he's
Like-
he's one to talk.
Like honestly,
After
and
what
I'm
he's
black.
done.
He already gave us the afterthought and apology, right?
So call him Yi B Lee Seek Key.
He can suck my ass. I
Yeah,
don't care.
yeah.
Go
You can call him. You
Mr.
can call him anything. You
Mr.
want.
Yams. But
Yeah.
anyway. but like whenever he disrespected black people, you know what I mean? Nothing happened.
Mhm.
No one moved. You know
No
what I
one
mean?
moved.
But like all of a sudden, he says some anti-Semitic stuff, which something should happen, right? But it also should happen for black people. Next thing you know, now that's when all his sponsors like leave. So first of all, we already knew that his sponsors were like racist, but like of course, like this would happen. Like most companies don't give a fuck.
Nope.
They don't give a fuck.
They greenlit everything. They greenlit everything.
And I think it like comes from. Sorry, were you about to say more?
no.
I think it comes from. I said it in the Chud Builder update video, and I also said this on Facebook, and people were trying to eat me up. But really, like the people who taught black people that we should do respectability politics or whatever, and so now like all these people think that they can keep like talking shit and like treating us like shit because we already accepted the lowest of the low, and when we should have fought back, we were like, no, we have to be better people ourselves.
Yeah.
And so now they're like, well, you guys don't care about yourselves, so why should we care? You know what I mean?
Because Kevin Hart, I did want to add this. I just remembered. Because Kevin Hart, this is his company, his media company. So it's his productions. So it's his people. So we're even not like talking to the suits like, hey, we're gonna greenlight this. It's Kevin Hart himself and his crew and his team greenlighting all of this. And basically what basically is like invoking people is that the fact that he's like, if I let the haters talk, then they're just gonna run my life. And that's basically his outlook on this whole thing is like, hey man, we put on a good show. One joke, let it go. That's his whole thing.
Like, and I understand it because like you can say jokes. I say jokes all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, can I snitch on myself? Yeah.
Snitch.
So yesterday we went to like
Raise your hand. Can I snitch on myself?
Like
Yes,
we're in
her.
class.
Yeah, go ahead.
I am in class.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me stop. Anyway, but yesterday we went to Patagonia, I believe. We went to a
Yeah,
lake,
lake.
and it's like right next to Mexico. My friend here is Mexican, right? So I was just like, we were making like dumbass jokes, like go back.
Go back to your country.
But there's no like real like volition behind it, right?
Yeah.
But like you're telling me a far right person comes on there and they're allowed to say like literally it's only a joke if you're only talking about people here, but you know what I mean? But if you're talking about someone that's not there, first of all a dog whistle,
Yeah.
but you're being inappropriate. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Because he's saying, can I add this?
Yeah, go
I don't
ahead.
want to cut you off. Because he's also saying this stuff like, because like that whole example of us joking in the lake.
yeah.
Because like I made the joke first. First
Yeah.
of all, let me say that. I made the joke first because like, hey man, I'm trying to go back to my homeland or whatever.
Can I also say why, before you finish that, can I also say why I even make those type of jokes, even for myself as a black person?
Mm.
But like for me, it's just like I'm not laughing about the racism specifically. I'm laughing at how fucking stupid the racism is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not laughing about like, oh, it's funny because I feel like it's true or da da da. I'm laughing because I'm like, you see how dumb this shit
So
sounds?
stupid.
Like,
So really, it's like really like low IQ,
like how dumb did you
2-year-old.
have to be to get here?
Yeah, yeah,
And that's the shit that I love sometimes. Like he
yeah,
knows.
yeah,
Like not racist shit, but like I be saying some dumb shit all the time. So
yeah.
racist shit is dumb, and sometimes I like saying it
Mhm.
because I'm like, damn, I sound dumb right now. But it's
Yeah,
not because like, oh, I believe in it. Anyway,
yeah.
go off.
No, for sure. Um, so basically, like I was joking about it or whatever, and I think like the whole differentiating of it is that like we're doing it in a close friend environment. We're all friends. We all know that what is happening. But
Mhm.
Tony Hinchcliffe is doing it in his little orbit and on public spaces. If you're doing it everywhere, and that's you, bro. Like that, you actually are like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
That's actually you, bro.
Yeah.
Cause like I don't think, and like you could, I have you right here. I don't think you're making any crazy stuff like about my people's race, like when we're not together, or
No.
like you know what I mean, like. So that's because it's actually joking.
Yeah.
And then so it's like, and if I were to feel some type of way, you would actually stop.
Yeah.
And Tony Hinchcliffe is like, everyone's like, yo, the family is like, yo, that's actually offensive.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm gonna keep making these jokes on bigger stages. And the fact that Kevin Hart,
is like backing it up. And then Tiffany Haddish had the nerve to be like, "Oh, the only people here. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. Make this bigger since it seems like we're gonna be up in a little bit longer."
sounds good.
But the fact that like Tiffany Haddish was also like, the only people that are mad about it are the only people that aren't here. Like they want to be here type
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
And it's like, girl, first of all, I would never want to be you. I would never want to be any of you. To even be on those stages for the most part, to be a popular figure, especially as a black person, you basically have to coconut out. You kind of have to be an Uncle Tom. And if you're a woman, you're an uncle, you're an auntie. No, we're going to call you an uncle. Onk.
Oh wow, that's an
Onk Tommy, sir.
okay.
Because you have to keep the UT.
Yeah, I got you.
The UTI. Anyway,
Yeah.
but anyway, like no, like I don't have to sell out. And to me, that just speaks that you're not actually talented. Like not just to Tony, whatever the fuck his name is, because I don't give a fuck. But to Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish, like you have to sell out your own people in order to be on those stages, by the way.
Right, yeah.
It's not because like you can like, I feel like for me, we're always on some manifestation shit, right?
It never turns off.
Exactly. And so I feel like I've always came to Sky and I'm always like, I feel like for me, one day I'm going to be a multimillionaire, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And like other people, they definitely have to sell out. That's why you see a bunch of people doing crazy shit on TikTok and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like for me, like I don't have to do all that shit. Like literally, maybe people feel that way about my piercings, but these are just genuinely something that I like. And it's not like I'm doing it for like attention. Even though people think that's like I'm bullshitting there, but I genuinely am not doing it for attention, right? And so just me being me, I'm gonna get to where I'm at. I can have all my strong opinions. I can say whatever the fuck I want about like if people try to cancel me about like the MLK thing, if people try to cancel me because I am in love with Michael Jackson, doesn't really fucking matter. I'm gonna be where I'm gonna be no matter the fuck what, right?
Yeah.
And so like if you have to sell out in order to be in those spaces and get that money and da 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 da, that just tells me you're not talented. You're a piece of shit. No, let me stop.
Yeah, no, wait, say it. You're a piece of no, say that shit.
Was it that
Yeah,
bad?
no, because you know, it's funny. I don't know if like we want to keep going, but
Go off.
It's funny, we had this conversation, like, literally at a line at a McDonald's or whatever, at a drive-through, and I
Mhm.
was asking you because we were on this topic, and I was asking you, like, what do we do with in those people that are in those spaces? Like, the people that are, because I'm a fan of The Breakfast Club. I watch them every morning until they move to Netflix because 'cause I'm
Mhm.
not paying for that shit, but, um I was a fan and I watched them every morning, but they would always have like some celebrities and stuff on there, and it's like some really problematic people. And I'm
Mhm.
not the kind of person that's like, oh, they said this thing in the past, and so we have to cancel them and they're completely dead to me. I'm all about human growth and stuff. And like, okay, we'll give you a second chance. But then there's certain people that are being platformed that are like actually terrible, terrible people. And it's like, oh, we have them up here because they're famous and they do this and they do that, and it's all like, okay, whatever, bro. Just give me like the, because I mainly watch them for like artist interviews because I love music and hip hop and stuff like that. But what I'm getting to is that like they reach to this level and they work for iHeartRadio, and it's all like, the YT people. And so it's like,
Mm.
okay, so we're all working for these guys, right? But in their whole crusade or whatever, including Charlemagne, it's like we're making change inside the tables and stuff like that. But like we're seeing that it's not actually not happening because Kevin Hart is one of those people that are making inside change. But this is just an example of like, wait, there's no actual change happening here because you guys are letting this run free.
Yeah, and let me add on, you can keep talking in a second. They're letting it run free in a climate that is becoming even more
Worse.
anti-black.
Yeah, for sure. And so I was asking Alien over here, like, what do we do in those people that are in those positions? Because like I always try to see the benefit of the doubt in people. Like I always see like a Lauren LaRosa or Jess Hilarious. She's also on there, and I they they talk about black issues and stuff, and they bring up stuff. Her one of her relatives was actually Harriet Tubman. And so like when what's his name Neon came, she really pressed him on it because he said some really offensive things about Harriet Tubman and stuff like that. Anywho, that's what I'm trying to go into, is that like in those people in those positions, what do they do? So like I believe that they're good people and they're trying to do something at least with their platform. Like what do we do with them, and like how do they change the system? And I asked Alien, and she basically broke it down. It's like, well, first of all, they don't actually have to be on there to make the change. They can actually make their own thing and like expand on that. And I'm like, yeah, but it's easier said than done, right? And you were basically telling me it's because most people literally want it fast and easy. They're not willing to do this fucking hard stuff to like do the whole reset
Yeah.
and basically build on their own thing. And so I was like, damn, like you're actually kind of right with that, because if everybody locked in
Yeah.
and we're not giving support to these media companies that are just stealing our art and our craft and
Mhm.
capitalizing off of it, then maybe we could actually stop um this open blatant like segregation and racism in media, even though it's like not how it used to look back in the day. I think it's taken a new shape of how it's going, because like
Oh, for sure.
what are we talking about? Like Tony Hinchcliffe being up, like, well, like, bro, first of all, bro, like he's absolutely talentless in my opinion. I've never liked this fool, and he's only gotten to where he is because he was de-writing Joe Rogan's Atmosphere, and he knew that was the plan. So now that he's up at this level and Kevin Hart's gassing him up, and it's like, dude, okay, I'm gonna be real with this. If like if comedy's subjective. If Kevin Hart thinks he's funny and he puts him on, okay, that's cool. But then you also have to know that like you're making jokes, but then there's a point where like there's a line. Cause Cat Williams doesn't have to do any joke like that, and bro is fucking
It's
hilarious,
funnier than him.
way damn funnier. And so you're telling me we have to big up Tony Hinchcliffe and defend this man's actions because he's just a comedian, bro? That's his style. Like, bro, you're the owner. You're literally the owner of this. Like, we're not looking at an iHeart like radio thing anymore. Like, oh, they're not letting us. Like, we have no power or say. You actually have the power and say this time, and you're still like throwing rocks and like hiding your hand and being like, oh, you know, I didn't have anything to do. Why am I getting the heat?
And let someone say something about Charlie Kirk, the same people that said something about George Floyd, you know
And
what
they
I mean?
caught
And they'll start running and skipping and falling over each other so fucking fast. You can't say that.
that man had a family. That man had
That man out of Erica Kirk is still alive. She can hear this. Like, shut the fuck up, bro.
So it's just fucking pathetic. If there's anything more, we could get back to the video.
I believe.
No, but do I get
Yeah.
why they're being told? Yes. Like, I'm not looking at Pete crazy. I'm not looking at Tony crazy. Like, that's what I know what you're going to do. I know your style of comedy.
Did you see the interview that I did with Terrence Floyd, George Floyd's brother?
No,
So he said
no
in it-
shot to you.
No, they expected you to kind of be the person that would like stop it right in the moment or just not allow for certain things to happen.
And he also said he wanted you to come harder. He said if they
Yeah.
going to joke, why you ain't come harder with your own
All right.
joke?
All right.
Racist jokes, I guess.
This is actually a good thing to give a rebuttal to.
See, then
They
you wish
talked
you
about
watched
my dead mom and my dead dad.
She is.
Said that they were running a train on my
Shadow
mom.
on the wall.
It was hilarious, right?
It was
Oh,
the
that
double
was
entendre.
crazy.
The
Yeah,
double
that was
entendre was
Regina
hilarious.
killed that.
Right?
Yes,
Oh
that
wait,
was
that's
great,
right. You
great.
probably should say killed that.
The jokes about Kevin was on a slave ship in a bottle with like the ship in the bottle.
Like, I can handle that one.
I'm going
Right.
to appreciate humor. I don't get affected by the attempt of humor. I get it, right? In this case, like, do
That one
more.
had directly had
It's
to
my
deal with
production.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin, with
We're
you.
live.
I mean, I understand
more
he's
is
talking
what?
about slavery, so it's like
what is it
multiple
that you
people.
expect me- You
but
want
he
me
made it
to take a
specifically
live
about
production
Kevin.
and
Yeah.
stand up and
And the roast is
and
about
fight
him.
Tony
Yeah.
or have a reaction? Like,
She's
Tony
just
told a
staring.
joke.
As
It
like
wasn't a
as
tasteful
far as
joke
offensive it
to
gets, I
us.
guess there's whatever.
We didn't like
but
it. Okay,
It's a different
hey,
thing,
man,
bro.
a
It really
joke.
is.
We move on. I don't understand why we stand on a hill and it becomes like this big thing of like, oh man, they do this and they're attacking the culture. And it doesn't have to be that. It literally is either you're a fan of this
Just
level of
looking at his
content
face.
or you're not. And if you're not a fan, then you don't watch it. So
Kevin Hart was
Does he
not
pick that
helping,
up?
right? Even if Kevin Hart is saying, we're going to stand up and stop it. Okay, cool, right? That's too much, right? You had a mic. You had your time to come on afterwards. You had the last words on the show. You couldn't use your voice as a comedian to counter the hate. You couldn't go at Tony Hinchcliffe on the mic. If these people are getting every opportunity to verbally abuse us and be nasty towards us and put hate towards our way, then why can't one of us take that mic
Exactly.
and go at him? And go at Tony Hinchcliffe and go at Shane Gillis.
Fuck
and
it, I
speak up
will.
For us.
Hand it over,
Cheryl
bitch. I will.
Underwood attempted to do so, but she's a woman at the end of the day, man.
You.
Right? Like, as a comedian, she probably ain't on the level of a Kevin Hart. So if we look at you as one of us, yo, why you ain't hit that mic and go to war for us? It don't gotta be hostile or no. You could have just went at him how he went at us. We didn't see you do it at all. Now, when Kevin Hart gives this new standard for how we should operate in life, right? If you
is
don't
he
like
moving
it,
like
don't
this?
watch it and ignore it. Imagine if we had that standard for everything in life.
He's
You know,
like, I
Chud
have
the
to
Builder,
work
Chud
my
is
way.
going around calling random black people the N-word and victimizing them in person.
I mean, bro's horrifying.
If the standard was, why critique something you don't
Yeah,
like, just don't watch it. So black folks should have been quiet, not watch the content, and have Chud and his racist fans and his audience like denigrate black people, attack black people, victimize black people,
and we say nothing.
and get wealthy off of victimizing black people. And black people should have kept quiet, not critique it, and just go about our business because he's not victimizing us.
Yeah, I have something to say about that because,
Go for
like,
it.
hi, you guys. I have BPD. So I have BPD accounts. And that's not like accounts where I'm making BPD content. No, I'm on there arguing with people because I need a regulation, right? And so I'm always like arguing with people. I can make like the most base, like, comment ever, and then people run to the comments to first of all make fun of like how alt I am, or just to make fun of the fact that I'm black. But if I say anything back to these people, they call me racist. They're like, haha, monkey. And I'm like, haha, yeast yeti. You like walking pus. And then it's like, oh, you're racist. This is why black people did it. You're racist. I'm like, hey, dude, I'm just reverse Uno.
Yeah.
But you're not allowed to do that, right?
Yeah.
Like, if like genuinely, like, okay, if you guys don't want people to make Charlie Kirk jokes, then probably don't make George Floyd jokes, right? But they want that.
Yeah.
They want to be able to make the George Floyd jokes, but also no one say anything about Charlie Kirk. And
They want to have their
no,
cake and eat it too. And
yeah,
I'm just gonna say it, man, and it's always been like that with this culture,
I know.
quote unquote culture.
I
And
just don't see why black people are not even just black people, because they don't do it just to even us. They do that
yeah.
to Latinas, or Latinos. I remember I remember as if I didn't just watch this video today, but I was watching a video from Foreign Fridays, and it was about like the lizard Wiz.
Oh,
The
yeah.
wizard
The Wizard
Liz.
Liz. Yeah,
I
yeah.
said it. The lizard Wiz. Anyway,
I'm subscribed.
you know what? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Her
subscribed.
and her baby daddy Landon or whatever,
Yeah.
and apparently she's going through it right now because she was supposed to get her green card. Some shit happened. Well, I'm not 100% sure what happened, but apparently she moved out of the States, but she couldn't take her kid, and he's being racist and all this other stuff. And
Wait, Lando's being racist?
yeah,
Holy.
yeah. That's what
Sorry,
she
I'm
says.
a subscriber and I'm a fan of the Wizard Liz, but after the whole baby mama drama stuff, like I didn't keep up, and you're telling me this. Oh, okay, keep going, please. I'm sorry to cut you
Like he
off.
was
That's
being,
blowing my
but like
mind.
that's like literally
Yeah,
what happens
I'm
though.
sorry.
Like even the guys that like go and like do, especially okay, what I've heard for when it comes to like black guys who do like the passport bros or whatever, their cons are just the fact that they're just like they'll go have these babies and they'll like dip
Move
out.
on.
And we know someone who actually had that happen to them. Like they're half black, half Filipino, and their dad just dipped out. And then the thing with like the white passport bros, right?
Yeah.
They'll get like an Asian girl, whatever. I just seen this one guy is like a TikTok guy or whatever. He's like 40, 50 years old. He got a young 20 something Filipino
Gotcha.
or whatever, and then he wanted her to like act like trad wife or whatever,
Gotcha.
and then didn't want to give her money, and like he would like lock himself in the basement because she didn't do something, or like literally just so pathetic. And this is on Christmas too, like he locked himself in the basement, and like she was saying like he would say like racist shit to her, and like that's basically what happens. Like a lot of times, like a lot of like Asian women are just fetishized, and even though they like accept it because they think like they're gonna get a better life here or something like that, or because like white people hold most of the wealth that they'll be able to access it or whatever, they accept the racism. Like, you know what I mean? They
Mm.
accept it. They don't think too much of it, blah, blah, blah. But then once that white man starts saying like some shit to them, then it's like a lot of times they run to the internet and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, didn't we tell you?
Oh wow,
Didn't we
man.
tell you? Like how
Yeah.
often? Like like I know people are like, not everything is about race, but like you're around me.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, when it comes to me being black, it is.
Yeah.
Because you see how like people treat me, how
Yeah.
they just switch up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's night
It's
and
just
day.
weird.
It's like even in the most subtle ways, like it breaks my heart to say stories like this, but it's in the most subtle ways. Like we'll say, like I remember this one time we were having a trip in Texas, and we went into a Sprouts because you needed vitamins from there.
Yeah.
And this lady was saying like, "Oh, do you need any help?" to every other person in the vitamin line, and the vitamin line is like 2 aisles.
Yeah.
And it's her literal job to be there and help people. I know because I worked at Sprouts for a couple months.
Yeah.
I go in there with you, but I'm standing like back because I'm just waiting for you to get your vitamins.
Yeah.
And she says absolutely nothing to you. Says hi to and oh, do you need help to everyone else?
Oh, that happens all the time.
But you. And I just wanted to cap that story, but that does happen all the time with you. And I've seen it, but that's one story. I think that was like the first time I seen some shit like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then you come over to me and you're like, did you see that? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. And it happens like literally all the time. Like I can walk into a store, everyone else gets a hi. But me, no. And especially because like I'm an alt bitch with all these piercings and I don't do my makeup that often. And I'm not saying that I look rough, but especially when you look really pretty, you know what I mean? Like people are nicer to you, but like I guess because like to other people, if I don't put myself together, right?
Yeah.
Then and they see the piercings, then they're like, "Oh, she might be homeless." Plus, like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Outside of these videos and outside of my pictures, I be dressing like I'm homeless. I just
And
want people to leave me the fuck alone,
and
you
guess
know?
what, guys? She's just as beautiful.
You're silly. Anyway, we'll keep
Because we don't
going.
live in Clarksville. Imagine if that standard was applied to everything else. Just imagine, right? Just imagine if people who victimize kids and children now know in their heart, well, I could victimize children on the internet,
Sorry,
and
that was a
people who
crazy
don't
face he
like
made.
Wasn't
children
it?
don't
He's a-
watch my content anyways, and they can't critique me because that's the new rule. You can't critique things you don't agree with.
He didn't really preach in this.
Like, clearly, that's not the standard at all.
No, because I feel like
And
this is more of
Kevin
like a
Hart is essentially
serious
asking
video.
us, hey
You
man,
got a
these
light
white folks
sermon.
pay me
Yeah.
to put on this roast, bro. Why y'all making it hot, bro? Why y'all coming online and being vocal about how much y'all
Yeah.
hate it, bro? Chill, man.
Chill.
That's what he's asking us to do. Now, some people might think that he's spitting. I think he's full of ish.
Off topic. The vibe that he's giving me right now is like I'm about to meet him at a park and like he's sliding me like some weed
Wait,
or
what?
something. A dime bag,
Flacco?
yeah.
Oh.
He's sliding me some a dime bag and I'm sliding him some money, like all casual.
Yo, chill, bro.
He's like, yo, chill. Like we're
bro.
about to
Yeah,
like dap
dap
it up
up.
and we're
Yeah.
actually exchanging.
Thanks, Flacco.
Let me
I
shut the
think
fuck
Kevin
up.
Hart could have delivered this message a little better.
This is your brain when you're
Mm.
struggling to focus.
The video's
And
about
this is
is
your
over
brain
pretty much.
when
by
you're
the
in the
way.
zone.
I know.
And getting in the zone and staying there.
My last note for all attached to this is very simple.
His
Okay.
last note. Okay.
Whatever the headlines or whatever the dialogue is,
Mm-hmm.
my rebuttal is simplicity. Remove me from it. I didn't say it.
Mhm.
If you are upset that the night went on, that's a different conversation. It's nothing I can do. It's a production. It's a live production. I'm not compromising the live production for a reaction of what? What do you want me
Kevin
to do?
Hart is the same size
drag him
as
off?
one brain cell.
You want me to fight afterwards? You want me to turn it into... That's not what I
So
agreed
now
to do.
you're the
It's not
comedian.
the job.
He should have had me up there.
Yeah, we should have you on the roast.
I also got the rebuttal. I also got the same.
Oh, I got him.
What are we dealing with here?
We stepped
I'll
on
say
a
it
lot of
again.
him yesterday. Let me stop.
Stop talking
The
as if
ants.
I said it. So when you say the family and the family's affected, I didn't disrespect the family. Showed up for the family when it happened.
I'm kidding.
Made
We did
sure
not
the
step
family
on
felt
ants, by the
supported,
way.
Made sure that all
Not on
things there
purpose.
were actually cool.
We love ants.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, just as an example, you know the one person that I talked to,
No.
and I'm not even gonna tell you the conversation. Stephen Jackson.
Oh, I know he caught that.
That's because that's my nigga.
Yeah.
Stephen Jackson.
Hey, Stack, let me just call you, man, so I can explain to you like the world of the roast, X, Y, and Z.
Mhm.
We talked. I get it, Kev. We had a great conversation. But that's what I mean when I say, hey, man, let me call the one person after. And that's before whatever you're talking about.
Mhm.
That's immediate.
Mhm.
Stack, hey, Tony threw one out there. It's this and this, but you do know that that's what this is a roast. But I just want
All
you to
this,
know
but
from
we
my
just
side.
can't get a simple
My man's
sorry.
on his own.
You ain't lead with
He's
that,
walking
Kev.
all the way around.
Just
I couldn't
doubling
believe
down.
that.
All the way around.
How does it feel
He
to like
approved the people that I give a
suck
No,
this
I
much dick,
don't.
bro?
Holy
No.
crap.
No.
It's crazy work.
If you
Bro is like
open
on
that
his
door,
knees right now,
then that's
just
the door that people expect.
And the
I was
fact
like,
that
why
it's
the-
like
why
Tony
did you do that?
Hinchcliffe,
I
like
think
he's
it's because
way
of how
down here.
much the George Floyd
Mike,
situation
you
affected.
could have been
so
doing
many
this for
people.
Malcolm.
I think
No,
what
I'm
you're saying
kidding.
and how you stand on your business, and I respect you
Not
for
talking about
that.
standing on business.
Another backtrack. You see, the backtracking makes me so annoyed. Nah, bro. I don't gotta do that. I'm not doing that ever. No. I'm
Bro
not
was in the
standing on
middle of a
business. No, I just
cocky.
stood on business. All right,
Crazy
man.
work.
But y'all let me know. People is really upset at Kevin Hart. They're on social media in droves, calling him all type of names, calling him all type
Bro,
of.
we don't give a fuck. Anyway, we already roasted him.
Yeah. Conclusion time. So how do we already got how we feel about Kevin, but
How do you feel?
How do we feel about this whole comedy scene? Do jokes go too far? Are jokes appropriate? And are jokes are the comedians able to get away with free speech?
Well, usually the free speech is supposed to have like whenever they make certain jokes, like what Dave Chappelle usually does, right? Like if he makes an offensive joke, it has also a story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he had one about like tea folk,
Well,
right?
let's say he used to.
What do you mean?
He used to have jokes about stories and stuff, but then he started just selling out and just making tea jokes one after the other, and there was no story anymore.
There was no story. Okay, well
No.
I didn't see that. But
Yeah.
usually
He first started off like that.
that's because he's probably in like the TikTok brain at this point. But go off.
Oh, he's full blown like out of touch.
Yeah.
Like he's full blown out of touch, and he victimizes a lot of the transgender community and stuff.
Mhm.
And like first, like I'm gonna be honest, like first I'm like, okay, like he's a comedian, he's giving these punchlines. There's just like you said, there was a story.
Mhm.
Dave Chappelle used to be on that shit. And then he just kept doing it and doubling it down. Like I need to do this, and it got so far that that's his whole bid
It was
now.
because they got mad at the first joke, right?
Yeah, but then
Okay.
yeah,
Go off.
but then they got mad at him and like okay, this is his career, so he's gonna defend it. And so like I was a Dave Chappelle fan, so I was like, okay, that I get it, I get where he's coming from. But we're talking about years later, special after special after special after special, and he's still making those jokes, and they're not even funny. And his own audience are like, can we stop making these jokes now? Like
Yeah.
we already hit the punchline back in 2016.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Okay.
yeah.
I didn't know all
No,
this
I just had to
background
say no.
story.
Yeah, I know.
All I know is about the one joke where he was like saying something about trans person, and then at the end of the night, like he let them do whatever with
Yeah,
him,
yeah,
and then he like went on. He wasn't like I guess there was some sort of way he was being disrespectful because that's the joke, right?
yeah,
Ish, right? But
yeah,
he still called this trans woman a woman, and he didn't sit around like degrading her
yeah,
100%. At least that's what I picked up.
yeah,
And so like stuff like that, even though I do know like people still get offended over that, um I feel like that stuff is just a joke.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But when you're like actually just being offensive and like I said there's no storyline or whatever, like first of all, what's the point of being like a comic, right?
yeah.
The point is,
To make people laugh.
yeah, to make, well, not just laugh, but like the point is like the story.
Right,
You
right.
know, the story of the joke, because at the end of the day when you're a big comic like that, everyone's supposed to get the fucking joke. So you're supposed to have a fucking like storyline. But if it's just like a knock knock, who's there, trans people,
Oh fuck.
type shit,
Oh
like that's
god.
just brain dead energy type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
And that's where Dave Chappelle landed.
yeah.
And so like your point is exactly correct. There was a line where he was like good,
Yeah.
then he moved on. And then this Tony Hinchcliffe is like his whole act was knock knock, bro is dead.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha.
He said bro's looking up at us, laughing,
Yeah.
like till he can't breathe.
Yeah. So I'm good on that, Chief. I'm good on that, Chief. So Kevin Hart, uh
I have a question for you actually.
go for it.
What's the most racist experience you've ever had?
The most racist experience I've ever had, story time, kids. Because I
Mhm.
remember this one. There was one time, me and my boys, back in the day, I was a poor kid. So, like, the most thing that I ever had to do, because I didn't have internet, I didn't have pretty much a lot. So, outside was my outlet. And on the weekends, me and my boys after school would go to, like, the mall or whatever, and we'd go there all the fucking time. And I'll right hand to God everything on my life. As poor as I was, my friends they had some money, but I was the poor kid.
Yeah.
As poor as I was, I never stole anything. I never had the need to because my friends would always cover me. Whenever like, hey Jose, you want a drink? You want a soda? You want some chips? We got you. We just want you to come with us. And sometimes I'd be like, okay, bro, I'll go with you. And so there was one time that we went to a Target and we were just looking around like we do because I really don't have money to buy shit, so I'm just looking at the video games, looking at the board games, basically what we do when we go to like Walmart or a Target. So, and I'm like, can I go to see the video games? Because like I still just like looking or whatever. And we were just hanging out there, and we were starting to exit the Target. And as we're walking out, the security guard, who was a white man, comes up to us and he says, "Hey, put it back." And we looked at each other and we're like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "Put it back." And then we were just like, "No, actually, like, what are you talking about?" And like we actually all of us looked at each other because we never had stolen anything. So we're like, what's happening? Like, did you guys take something? And so, but we know each other. We wouldn't take anything. And the guy looks at us. He's like, "I know what you kids are doing here, and put it back, or else you're never gonna be allowed in the store ever again."
Man, watch out.
Yeah. And I was like, "Okay, bro, like chill." And then he made us like empty out our we were kids, bro. Like we were in 6th grade, so we were like, "Let's just do what he says." And we emptied out our pockets and we're like, "We have nothing. What are you talking about?" And he was like, "Get out of here. You're never allowed back in the store ever again." And like all of my friends were brown and black, so I'm just like, "What the fuck?" And so we head home, and we go straight home because we were like, damn, like that was fucking weird. And we go home, and I tell this as soon as I get home, my mom's in the kitchen cooking. She's like, "How did it go, mijo?" And then I go over there and I tell her about the story. Bro, you know my mom. She's the nicest person ever.
She got
Bro,
mad, huh?
she saw red. And she said, "Get in the car right now."
Did you guys go?
Yeah, she said, "Get in the car right now. We're gonna go, and I'm gonna talk to the manager." Bro, so I'm like, "Mom, it's not that big of a deal, you know?" Like I was just like trying to be like chill about it.
No, get that man
Yeah,
fired.
yeah. No, that's my mom's mindset.
Yeah.
So we drive to the Target, and she's fucking fuming, and she says, how can they tell us about you? You guys never stole anything, and I know you guys wouldn't steal anything." And we're like, and she was like, "Be honest with me, Jose. Did you take anything? Did you do anything?" And I'm like, "No, we literally didn't have anything." And so my mom even took my friends with me. So we rolled up on that Target, and she storms in there, and I point, and she's like, "Who was it?" And I'm like, "It's him." And the guy's like looking at us, and he's like kind of like trying to hide. And my mom's like, "Okay, him." And she goes up to one of the people who are like a cashier. She's like, "I need to talk to a manager right now." And they get a manager. They call one over, and bro, like she's like, "I need one that speaks in Spanish," because my mom doesn't speak English. And we got somebody who spoke Spanish, and she fucking went off. Not on the manager. She went off on the fucking security guard.
Yeah.
And bro was like trying to like hit like this and trying to look busy and stuff while that was all happening. Long story short, we walk out of there, and the guy was like, "I'm sorry about the misunderstanding or whatever, and like we apologize about your kids." We walk out of there.
Bullshit.
I'm telling you, next week, bro was gone.
As he should be.
Yeah, bro was gone.
As he should be.
Um,
That's insane.
So that was the most craziest thing that happened to me. Luckily, because I was a good kid, you know, I really,
Yeah.
really was. As much as like I was poor, I was in the streets.
Bro had to reach all the way back to 6th grade.
Yeah.
All I have to do is reach back to today.
Yeah, no, for real, dude. No,
I'm kidding.
it's the truth. So like, you know, I know like I'm very privileged and stuff like, even though I'm not white, you know, I know that I'm like very privileged, and like I had this conversation with Alien before. Like, if I woke up the next day and my skin was just a tad bit darker, man, my life would change.
Yeah.
It'd be different. I'd have a different experience.
Yeah.
And so, as much as like that was fucking crazy to me, and I'm really very proud of my mom for doing something like that, because now like if I have kids, I'd definitely do something like that. um, it's it's very real, and it's just like it was so like bad, and it's just like, damn, bro, like you're picking on kids. You're a grown ass 40-year-old loser who's working security, and like you just have to do this to a bunch of kids. Like, damn, bro, like we're literally just trying to get Pokemon cards and stuff. So that's my story.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for my coming to my TED Talk.
That's my TED Talk. You have anything for me? I was about
So-
to actually ask you something else, but go off.
Oh, well, I was gonna say like Yeah, no, that's what were you wanting to ask me?
I was gonna ask you, like, why do you think they have the audacity? The caucasity,
Yeah,
actually.
no, for sure. That's a good question. I think they have the audacity because now that I'm older, and this kind of correlates back to the Kevin Hart shit. It's normal.
Yeah.
It gets swept under. It's so normalized.
Prevalent, yeah.
It's so normalized, and like you just kind of expect it in every space at this point.
Mhm.
And so it's like, well, they're a little bit this way, they're a little bit that way. Cause like when I really break it down, dude, cause we be watching Dane Calloway before we go to sleep.
Yeah.
When I really break it down and I see like the videos we're watching, all this segregation and real crazy shit wasn't too long ago.
Oh, dude, it hasn't even been 100 years.
Like it's recent like shit,
Dude,
bro.
oh my God. I was on Facebook and I had posted about like whatever.
Yeah.
And basically, like, I'm not sure if you remember your textbooks in high school, but they were making all of those shits like literally there was color back in
Yeah.
the day, and they were
Yeah.
making it all fucking black and white.
Oh,
But the
fuck.
presidents, God forbid the presidents be a black and white. They made sure those bitches were colorized. And so I was on Facebook and I was talking about like they did the black and white to make it feel like it's older. And literal Uncle Toms were in my comment section saying, "That's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true."
Oh fuck.
Like, shut the fuck up.
Oh,
Can you
man.
guys guzzle any more dick? No, let me.
No, for
Dude.
real though. Yeah, it's so crazy.
Like, they
So
literally did that shit on purpose, bro. There's absolutely no reason why we don't see MLK in full color. You know what I mean? They
yeah.
got him walking around in black and white, making this man look like. Never mind, never mind.
Making pause.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So I guess I'd have one question for you is like, with you experiencing it like on a daily basis, would that be fair?
I guess so,
On
yeah.
a daily basis, um, how they taught us as kids was like be above it, do better, be better people,
That's
and
why they propped up MLK. Like, I understand MLK has like a lot of fucking speeches, right?
yeah,
Way more than what they show us, but they're only showing us like the ones that are like, we don't need to be judged by
yeah,
the contents of our skin, but the content of our character type shit,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But then like this is after the fact, like, or during the fact of like segregation, the alligator feeding. Like, there's so much things like lynches, like, you know what I mean? Like slavery. We have to deal with like so many things, like people being turned into chairs, people be like literally just bathing in our blood just to like soak it up type
yeah,
shit. So it's like, you know what I mean? I'm just
yeah,
like, oh, we're supposed to just accept this.
yeah,
And that's exactly the message that they're pushing, because that's what they want. They don't want you to like fight back. And
yeah,
especially when you know like all the bullshit that fucking happened,
mhm,
and that even though like, yeah, maybe we're not getting boiled and like whatever like that anymore, right? Maybe not on a large scale, because we don't know what's happening with these missing people. Some people
ooh,
think like a lot of the missing people cases are connected to like the Jeffrey Epstein stuff.
yeah,
And like, to be honest, there's more than one than like Jeffrey Epstein, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there's multiple, like.
yeah. And
Anyway.
you think they're stopping at children, bro? They're going to the races as
Oh,
well,
dude, I
man.
heard for the Jeffrey Epstein case or whatever, they weren't even okay. They weren't like doing like the weird shit with
Mm.
the black kids, but they were like hunting them down like
Oh
animals.
my
And
goodness
then there's
gracious.
what's it called? There's like a little conspiracy that whenever they're talking about like eating jerky, that they're talking about it being like actual black people, because Jeffrey Epstein was like, I would never have that in my mouth. But he was making it for other people.
Oh
So,
my god.
well, we'll see. But anyway,
So basically, my thing to you is that, you know, them, saying like this is the way of the answer of like be a better person or whatever,
yeah.
or they'll define you by your actions.
Oh,
What is your first of all your experience with doing that approach, and then second of all, what's the actual like
doing what approach? Like
the
the
yeah,
respectability?
yeah.
Oh. Anyway,
How,
so
what is that? Well, like, how does that actually unfold in the real life? of how they're trying to teach us how to deal with
Like
racism.
personally to me, right?
Yeah.
So do I just start off from the Jeffrey Epstein thing, like I said, or do I just jump off from wherever, like try to conclude it? Like so anyway,
Yeah.
back to like the original thought process or whatever. Like they do all this stuff and we were taught like it's not just like, oh, they showed us this in school. Like our parents literally dealt with that. Like I don't think people understand like the generation before my even my mom's, right?
Yeah.
So like my grandma and stuff like that. Like if you know the story of Uncle Ruckus from the Boondocks, right?
Mhm.
Like so many black families dealt with that. Like they dealt with that background. You know what I mean? So we end up having like a bunch of black people who want to be white because they see their counterparts. They're not getting treated like that. They're not going to school and people are protesting that those white kids aren't going. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
white kids are actually being handed everything at this point. Like, you
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like a loan is easier for them. Like they're basically being born with great credit. They're born with like not everyone because you're like let's be honest, your ancestors had the choice and the chance to become wealthy and instead they probably gambled it away like people are doing now. You know what I mean? They
Mhm.
instead they gambled it away, they gave it away for love. Like it's a bunch of different shit, but it's the same problems that are happening now. Either way, when everything just costs a nickel and a berry, your your ancestors were allowed to like basically exist, basically rent free, do whatever they want. So if you're in a shitty position now, like you know what I mean. But for black people, like even for the Uncle Ruckus story that was going like Michael Jackson dealt with that story.
Right.
Even though we're not thinking about it that way when we're looking at that or whatever, Michael Jackson even dealt with that story. So that shit happened all the time. Like I can tell you, like my grandma and my grandma's grandma, like they used to tell me about how much beatings that they would get. So because of like all this like white supremacy and like how we were treated and how respectability politics, they were forced to fucking wear wigs. You know what I mean? Their
Mhm.
hair wasn't presentable. They're beating their kids because they're like, you need to survive out there. So you need to act like this and blah blah blah. And we're gonna beat those like actions out of you type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of like different dysfunctions from all of that trickling down, but like white supremacists want to act like that's not true. You know what I mean? And they want to also act like they didn't contribute to it. You
Or
know?
like, "Oh, that was so long ago, like, guys, can we forget about it?"
Like, no, we're still dealing with it. Like, I'm still dealing with like even though my grandma dealt with all those like really heavy beatings and stuff, like a lot of black people ended up, you know, they got rid of their original religions and converted to like Christianity, Muslim, whatever they had over here, some Catholic, da da da. And so like we're just dealing with like being indoctrinized into those practices still and all that other
Yeah.
stuff. Like a lot more black families do believe in like the beatings and stuff like that. They believe in like the patriarch or yeah, the patriarch or whatever. So they treat like their male sons, you know, better than the daughters. And I had to deal with that. Like everything that I said didn't fucking matter. Like, you know what I mean? And so I can give a little bit more grace to like black people in my family whenever they're tough to me because like according to other black people, you know, I'm pretty white or whatever. Like I grew up on like High School Musical and all that other stuff. So my accent sounds like this because when I was growing up, I was obsessed with Ashley Tisdale. That's all I watched. I wanted to be like her. I was like, you know what I mean? So that's all I was hearing. So I ended up evolving like a West Coast accent, even though I was in the East Coast, you know, type shit.
Ye Can I say wow? I actually never put that together
Yeah.
because Alien's from, New Jersey.
And I got bullied for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, that's actually
It wasn't
wild.
like I was trying to do it. It's just like that's like the main voice that I heard a lot. My family didn't really talk to me like that. They talked to my brother. Like, you know what I mean? Like all of this still adds up. Like even I was showing neurodivergencies. My family would wake up to me like my mom would come in my room And I had like this one song, I think it was Bop to the Top from High School Musical, playing on and on and on all night long for hours and hours and hours. And my mom would have to come in the room and turn it off, dude. Like I was showing neurodivergencies, and because of like everything that happened to black people, my family, first of all, they don't believe in that shit because of the Bible, first of all, but because of basically like all the medical malpractice that like led up to like where we are basically now. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what you mean. Anyway,
No, I'm
but a lot of
listening.
like the medical malpractice led up to a lot of black people not taking like 100% good care of their health because like they don't believe in the doctors. They don't believe, and when you do go to the doctors, even now, you know, like they're not taking great care of you as a black person. As a black person, you're less likely to get painkillers because they believe that you just want to get like hooked on drugs or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's like literally a bunch of shit that we're still dealing with, but they want you to say that or believe that it's not happening. Like I'm literally dealing with the effects of you guys doing medical malpractice and sterilizing this and that and like stealing our blood and all this other stuff, stealing our melanin.
Yeah.
And because of that, my family as a black person didn't feel comfortable enough to like, hey, you do have neurodivergencies because they think that's fake.
Yeah.
They think for black people it's fake, but like white people can go do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, and then when you want to like kind of confront the situation, literally 95% of black people are just going to be like, open your Bible, go pray. They don't even give a fuck because we've dealt with so much shit that at this point, like it's hard for me as a black person to extend more to another black person because it's like, well, it keeps happening anyway. I'm already dealing with all this shit. How am I supposed to also care about you?
Word.
Yeah, so it's a whole thing.
No, it is.
Yeah, it fucking sucks, but I don't know. At this point, I just think everyone should just drop dead. Because, like, that sounds really aggressive. But it's true. Like, at this point, like, how do we actually course correct this? Like, we did so much generational damage. Like, let's say, hypothetically speaking, even after the fact that, like, let's say, how white people talk about, like, they're dying out or whatever, they're going to be a minority. And
Yeah.
eventually, like, there might not be too much, especially here, right?
Mhm.
Because they're already a minority throughout the whole globe. Everyone else in the globe is basically brown and black, you know? So let's say through that hypothetical, like we're still fucked, you know? We're still gonna have to deal with people who are raccoons, you know what I mean? Like now there's already this hierarchy that already started of, well, you're lighter. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's always gonna be the case now.
Yeah.
It's, sorry, go
I
off.
was gonna say it's generational.
Yeah,
It's
it's
generational,
generational.
man.
Like even if like all the white people died today, 100 years later, we're still gonna have that. And at the end of the day, like first of all, black people have the Eve gene, and then on top of that, like I know most people don't understand how genetics work, but like if you have like white genetics already in your system, eventually someone's gonna have another white baby. I can push out a white baby if I have white ancestry. It doesn't matter if my partner is black, my genes can reach all the way fucking back. You know what I mean? And just snatch out that what's it called? Straight hair,
Yeah.
light skin, like blue eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's already there. It's already in my genes. So it's not even like, you know, and like and all that would do is just like prop them back up to go to where they're at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Putting them back on a pedestal. And so like honestly, like I wish like this whole race thing never existed so we could all be equal. Literally no one would give a fuck about white people doing like blackface if there was no like menstrual shows happening. No one would give a fuck about like making jokes about black people if slavery or Jim Crow never fucking happened. Like, you know what I mean? But
Right.
because that shit did happen and the KKK and everything, which Poetic Flacco, you have to change your your name, bruh. Like, what is this about? Why is there 3 Ks in your fucking name, bruh? Bruh.
Is
Are you a psyop?
She just clocked this today too while we were watching the video.
Are you a psyop? You're coming to the black people with 3 Ks in your name? Leave that shit for Erica Kirk.
Oh my god.
He also has it kind of in the same place as Erica Kirk. Because the first Her first name has 1K and the last name has 2.
How do you like them apples?
How you like them apples? But, like, we dealt with all of that, and, like, can you tell me a time where, like, not just Black people or, like, whatever, but just, like, brown people, Asian people, indigenous people, like, turned it back on white people? Like
There's never been a time.
exactly. And then, like, but we'll get someone in the comments saying this, so Imma just shut them down now. But they'll be like, "Well, Black people are killing more white people than, now more than ever, blah, blah, blah." First of all, if it was a hate crime, it would be classified as a hate crime. And so a lot of times it's either poverty stricken places or poverty stricken people you're interacting with are doing like crimes against you. Because we saw with Chud the Builder how nothing happened for the longest time. Like he did this for a year or two,
Yep.
and he's like it's
He's
just been
barely
happening
getting
for the
yeah.
longest time, and so barely anything, and he shot himself. That's the biggest thing. Like the Black guy didn't. Like the first video that Poetic Flacco did about Chud, he was like he made it sound like the guy had maybe shot him, but then it came back later on clarification, Chud shot himself.
Yep.
So it's like, whenever have we done anything? And then the only other thing, like, the only reason why, like, the numbers are even higher is because of the instigating that you guys do. Like, how you guys are doing to fucking Sky here when
Yeah.
he was in 6th grade.
Oh
And that
yeah.
happens all the time. Like, we
Yeah.
have so many fucking videos across this internet of, like, white people just sitting in your face, smiling and da-da-da, and then they go and, like, call ICE, or they go call the police. "Oh,
Yeah.
this person looks suspicious." And then you wonder why the rates of like white people dying for Black crime is higher. That's because you be fucking with us. Like we keep telling you like literally we tell you you got the right one.
Yeah, right. You got the right one. I'm gonna meet your match.
You got the right one.
Anyways, guys, thank you again for watching a brand new video on this whole Kevin Hart situation. We had to break it down because it's a huge level, and how we always do, it's not just this whole little drama thing happening. It's really a bigger issue. And that's why we come over here and we give this talk of talks, because we want to put you guys on. We want to give you guys the ability and free will to think on your own and really, start thinking for yourself and start changing and waking up to seeing like what actually is going on out here in these streets. Because I'm gonna tell you guys this, as silly as this sounds, is this whole Kevin Hart situation stuff. It's trickling down from way bigger things, and that's usually how the game goes. So I just want to thank Alien for giving us that spiel, that speech, because she really does like her research and all that stuff. And I actually check what she has to say too to verify it on my own, and we encourage you guys to do the same. So get smart, get book smart. Fuck, even like
Read
yeah,
more.
read more. Put you guys selves on game, and
Go through the National Archives.
yeah, and really just like
Know history.
know this stuff, because like once you start knowing this stuff, like Alien, she's got like photographic memory type of shit. But like when I start noticing, it's really hard to forget it. And that's a good thing, because that's more knowledge in your noggin. And most people are out here knowledge less. And that's why going back to what you said, the racism, like we joke about it because it's so low IQ.
Yeah.
It's the lowest IQ.
The smarter you get, the more you can differentiate stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can differentiate which joke is like an actual joke and
Yeah.
has a purpose and not so really offensive, and which one is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like I said earlier, I'm always like arguing with people, and I do that all the time. Not about jokes, but about everything. I'm like, no, this is the difference between this, and this. And like I do be sounding like aggressive as fuck, but it's really just like we all just need to clock it. Like
Yeah.
if you don't know, then it ends up being like harsh to you, right? It's
Yeah.
like if you take every criticism as hate,
Yeah.
you'll never improve because
Right.
you think everything is hatred. You know
Right.
what I mean? But if you actually can differentiate between this comment is a hate comment and this comment is someone that just wants to help me improve, then that helps you right there. And then now you can decide whether you want to take this comments like seriously or not, whether you want to adapt what they said, the criticism that they said or not, you
Mhm.
know? But if you take everything that's hate, which a lot of people on TikTok do, and that's why they end up just like low cows at the end of the day,
Mhm.
you're never going to improve, bro.
That's what it is, guys.
Your funds are going to go down.
Thank you guys again for watching, and we've been Aliens in the Sky, and
Aliens in the
and
sky.
we'll see you guys the next time.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.
Oh, I lied. We're not going to see you tomorrow. We'll see you on Monday or Friday.
Monday and Fridays.
P.S. Didn't even say it.